environment or ethics, diversity from arms companies or increasing recycling around the union, which should take priority?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. My main policy there is to develop a comprehensive environmental plan, but I think for the union, because our union is failing compared to, in some ways it's even worse than the school. I developed this comprehensive plan over the summer and implement its findings, but as you're probably aware, I've been quite active in the socially responsible investment campaign this year, and I definitely keep up the momentum and the pressure to make sure that the LSE stops these investments in these really odious companies.
But on the topic of investment, LSE and all higher education is facing a massive fundraising shortfall. How do you expect to implement strict ethical policies while still maintaining the current level of service that LSE provides?
Well, I think it shouldn't just be about divestment, it should be about giving them an alternative and other companies, and there are profitable companies that the LSE can invest in, which are not so unethical. And with the higher education, and it is facing a big crisis at the moment, and I think a lot of what that is the government is just not investing enough money into it, and it will pay for itself because education gives so much more to the economy. And this is affecting, not just on this level, you can see its effect, but if you look at the quality of teaching and how our university and some of the elite Russell Group's universities are becoming very research focused, and other universities such as Queen Mary's down the road, and they're becoming basically just training institutes for business. We just learn a qualification so you can get into a job.
LSE students are incredibly wasteful. They throw away their glasses from the tons, they throw away coffee cups, they throw away paper in droves. Previous E&E officers have never incentivised them to actually recycle. How are you going to be any different?
Well, I think part of the problem is the reusable kind of mugs thing, because a lot of people they go to the quad and they get their coffee in the paper cup, and it has been on the E&E forum. This idea has been floating around, but they haven't actually campaigned for it to be implemented, and I think that's the biggest change that needs to be done. I know that last year, to try and encourage UGM attendance, they were giving free coffee mugs, like the kind of thermos style mugs. And I think these should be given free to students, maybe and Freshers' Fair. I think it'd be a worthwhile investment, and it would save money throughout the year if people took these to the cafes instead of having to buy paper cups, which is wasteful to the budget, and they're also very damaging to the environment.
LSE talks quite proudly of being the greenest university in London. So, is there a point to environment officer at the ASU?
Well, it talks a lot, and if you in the Beaver, you had that article last week or the week before maybe about it is. Compared to other universities, there are definitely worse
this is Michael Larkin,
but
running for
still
International
has a lot
Students
to
Officer.
improve.
If you wouldn't mind saying
If you look at the new academic building, it was meant to have a high energy efficiency rating. If you look at it, it was a lot worse than what they said it was going to be, and I think there's, especially when we're building the new union building, we need to make sure that this, because the planning is happening now, we need to make sure that it is actually energy efficient, and try and take measures to make sure that the other buildings, especially the older buildings like this, which are probably a lot more wasteful, do try and improve their energy efficiency targets.
Right.